Just a little flashing light up there. I think I saw it for a second. Neato. You can hear him though. Boy, when it rains and they can't spray chemtrails, they fucking fly a lot of microwave planes, extra microwave planes, because we can't spray chemtrails. Oh no. I've been having to do my fire yoga a lot, like several hours a day, just to be able to keep doing things, because it fucks me up. What happens? Oh, there's that jet that just went over. See, the throbbing wrist, the throbbing elbow. It's doing it under my arm. It's doing it at my neck too. It's doing it in my eyeballs. And when that happens, there's pretty much always a jet or a plane flying over. When it's really bad like that, it's a jet. The planes, I don't know. Sometimes it's a crapshoot as to which one's worse, really. These things, like right into my fucking eyeballs. Okay, it goes my eyeball over there. It's in my medulla oblongata, and from there it branches out to every joint in my body. You know, it doesn't look like anything. Oh, what? Did you see your pulse? Yeah, and it itches there. And it itches at my elbow. And it itches under my arm. Man. It itches in my eyes, and it itches in my eyebrows, and it itches on my head. And then it causes pain in my joints, like, especially my neck, because I've injured it. This shit right here. It's coming closer and closer and closer. Like over my hand, over the back. Got this lump still there. Oh, there's a bunch of little lumps appearing here now, because I've been burning it so much, or excuse me, fire yogaing it so much. Once they get the swelling to go down, like you couldn't see the lump so much when it was all swollen. It just looked like swollen skin area, right? Just discolored and swollen. But once enough of it vaporizes off and the skin gets kind of back, not so swollen, closer to the bone like it's supposed to be, you can start to make out the little bumps, which is what I really noticed in my eyebrows. This right eyebrow has been a real pain in the ass too. Right here, this lump, I've had to. That thing is probably, I don't know, probably 10 times in the last couple months. I've had to like just keep the heat on it for a long time because it wouldn't go, and finally it go whoosh, and it would flare and make this big huge puff of smoke, and then I'd get some relief as far as the pain and the itching in my eye. And there's little, these little lumps are all through here, but this one is particularly, it's staying right there. I mean, I could, torch on that fucker, but it's still there, and it hurts. It hurts right here. It's not like incredibly painful. It's just incredibly distracting and annoying to have your eyebrows start hurting 100 times a day, every single fucking day, every time an airplane goes by. Now, people can say that sounds crazy, but people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Most people are completely senseless. And I mean that in a literal way. Their senses don't work. Mine work too well, apparently. Yeah, this has all the sensations and characteristics of a parasite under my skin, of like, of little parasites living under the skin, and they just like to hang out on your eyebrows and and in your joints and on the back of your head and around your earlobes and under your chin, and they just like to be there, and because they're friendly. These fucking lumps are the little stars right up the side of my head. That's the same thing. It's the same lumps as what was making my ear bleed or as what was coming off the back of my head because I can feel it. It's the same fucking thing. Years ago it was the back of my neck here. It was just all bumped out, all over. And the bumps over the course of weeks seem to migrate. You don't ever feel them moving like, oh, they're moving right now. I can see them. And it's not like that. But they do move. They move ever so slowly. And they just kind of creep up until they get up on your head. And my whole head was fucked up before. And now that I've gotten this down, I mean, you can see that it's all lumped out. This whole area was swollen just a little bit. Not so much that anybody would look at it and say, hey, your head's swollen. I mean, not even enough that I noticed it at first until I did. Until I really started concentrating on this lump, which has been here for, I don't know, a decade or more. When I started trying to get rid of this, and it seems to respond to the fire yoga just the same, I kind of finally caught on that there was this whole big area over here that was swollen. And this was just a lump, but this whole area was swollen. And as far as pain wise, the left side hurts the most. Um, Shit. It's just like parasite. It's like a parasite living under my fucking eyebrow. And it just doesn't fucking go away. Uh, if I wasn't doing this fucking shit with the fire, with the flames or torch or something, my boat rocking back and forth, uh, my eyebrows would be all swollen out. I'd have a continuous migraine headache. They'd probably be bleeding out the corners right now, and I would be unable to do anything, even, you know, carry on a conversation to a camera when I'm describing this. I wouldn't be able to do that. That's why, from years ago, there's a gap in videos is, when there's gaps of a few months at a time. It's because I was so sick and so messed up that I couldn't manage to make a video. I couldn't function well enough. Uh, and when you think about it, it's not. I didn't like. Oh, I took a vacation in some other country and somehow got a strange parasite. No, that didn't happen. Oh, it's just something special to me. Nobody else has this problem. Wow, I got some rare disease. That's not the case, I'm quite sure. I can see these same symptoms on other people. If you go to the doctor, they'll tell you you got this, that, or the other thing and give you some sort of treatment to offset your sensations, but do nothing about it. Um, you know, it's pathetic. And then you look at doctors. They take their Hippocratic oath to the god Apollo, not to their profession, not to their patients, not to good decency and being right and honest. No, they swear an oath to Apollo. And their pharmakia is a word for basically witchcraft, from Greek. The pharmakia, the pharmacy. I mean, how fucking obvious do they got to make it that they're poisoning people, they're keeping them from knowing things that will help them to get healthy, and they're getting paid for it. That's called a tool of control. That's how, Uncle Sam helps to keep an extra tight grip on the people, because, healthy people that aren't lacking for anything and have resources and energy have ideas, and they don't like to be oppressed and told what to do and forced down and made to, you know, give up all their hard-earned money for, bullshit reasons. Here comes another jetliner. Right fucking there. It gets my earlobes still a lot too. I'll be doing something, I'm trying to concentrate, working on something, and I'll think, it feels like somebody poking my earlobe with a needle or something. And then this one. And then my eyebrow. And then the back of my head. And then my neck hurts really bad, and then my hip will try to give out or something. And then I'll look down and I'll notice that, my pulse is going. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that was fast. A little faster. And is it one? Oh no, no. It's both of them. It's all of them. You know, the white patches and the lumps, I don't know, they're either parasites or tumors. And tumors have any need to move so much, I don't think. I'm leaning towards parasites. Fungal parasite, really. Oh, shit. I should. Well, I can't because the video is on this memory card, and the memory card's in the camera, so I can't put it on the video right now. I'm gonna have to edit together a video. I found a sub-anima video where he talks about a slime mold that he gives an example of on something he's talking about. And the nature of this slime mold is its fruiting body is just a fiber, and it's kind of a clear white. And when there's lots of its food source available, it branches out into thousands of tiny little individuals of this fungus slime mold, right? But when food gets scarce, it draws back into one and becomes a larger individual of fungus, so that it's not spread out so thin, you know. And it doesn't take a whole lot of imagination to think, well, if some evil scientists working for some evil governments wanted to genetically modify a slime mold so that it could live easily in the plasma fluid under a person's skin, between their organs, between their muscles, with its, sheath or whatever they call that over their muscles. I'm drawing a blank on it right now, but under your skin, between muscles, between your organs, there's plasma fluid, and that's where I swell, and that's where this pulsing happens, and that's where, things happen there. That's where the bleeding comes from. It's not blood coming from my veins, it's blood that's infected plasma fluid that's, finally worked its way through the skin and then leaks out under great duress. Oh, I've been having to, this shit goes, it's not just in my eye, it goes right down into my nose, okay? Like, a few years ago, I would blow my nose like that and get the exact same little white booger. Not green, not gray, it was white and tiny. Looked like a little fucking maggot. Except it wasn't wiggling. I looked really close to make sure it wasn't a living and moving or anything many times. So I'd blow that fucking my nose every 15 seconds. Every waking fucking hour of the day for months and months and months and months. Like 5-6 months. Every 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds. Another one. Another one. I got to where I can aim it. I got hit there. Hit there. Fucking gross, I know, right? Some shit I gotta deal with. That's not a cold. That's not anything normal. And it's coming from, what do you know, along this path line. What do we got here? Because you can hear them. My pulse hasn't stopped fucking throbbing yet. It's a douchebag McAirplane. I got a great job flying my airplane slowly over town every minute of the day. Oh, there's important stuff to do in an airplane at all times. Oh, the slime mold. Fungus can be triggered to grow with radio or microwaves. The right frequency of electrical waves causes fungus growth, causes it to begin growing. And it grows at night because the sun's not there blocking the cosmic background radiation, which is probably the dark light that grows funguses. And they grow, in dark areas underneath things. So this dark light, cosmic background radiation that triggers the fungus growth doesn't have to be in a direct line. It goes through things. It's a light that goes through things, like X-rays or radio waves, which is just light, microwaves, which is just light. except it passes through solid objects, unlike visible light. So the fungus, which seems to respond to the radio waves and whatnot, could easily be triggered to grow in that manner from transmitters. Hey, let's say mounted to airplanes or affixed to cell towers, or maybe the cell towers can just resonate that frequency in an area and they don't need to fly a plane over, because this does happen even when there's no airplanes. Oh, it's getting me right here too. Bumps under my fucking arm. That's just fucking lovely. And the big lump that never goes away. Thub, thub, thub. Yeah, this is fucking horrid up here. I'm in Port Orchard. It's worse here than it is in Vancouver, honestly. This one's just started to itch right there. Yeah, that's lovely. Oh yeah, I was going to do a little burn and see if I could get the effects of the flame. If you were, heating something, or vaporizing, toasting, burning something with a candle flame, above the flame, the heat rises up. Once it leaves the candle, it should pretty much not affect the plasma of the candle. What if something that was being consumed by the heat from the candle had a backfeed effect that actually affected the plasma of the candle? The asshole in his airplane's about here. I can hear him. I could feel it before you can even hear it, but anyway, I just lost my train of thought. I'm tired. I worked my ass off today on that up there, getting the hatch redone and fixing some leaks, some little rain leaks. All right, let me set this thing down and see if I can get a little bit of this weird candle action. Looks like a good angle, maybe. I'm getting ready to sail soon. I'm going to sail back to Vancouver. I'm a little nervous, but I'm starting to get excited about it now. I mean, it's going to be painful and hard, like everything in my life is now, thanks to this shit. And I'd like to be playing guitar right now, except I'm not getting any better at it, because every time I try to play guitar, what happens? Douchefuck McAirplane comes flying over. Hey guys, how about I come fly my airplane around over your house all day and night? Boy, that sounds like fun. That's the boats down there. Yeah, you can't really see him, but there he is. He's flying his shitbag self around. And pilots are pieces of shit, I'll do anything for money. I'm a pilot. I'll drop bombs on people, spray poison gas, microwave them. Who cares as long as I'm getting paid? I'm a pilot and I'm too cool to care. Fucking pilots are pieces of shit. Hey, if you're a pilot, fuck you. I'm starting to sound like Santos Bonnaci. Fuck, I tried to watch Santos's feed, or his stream, his live. It was ridiculous. I think Santos has been MK Ultra'd. I mean, he's always been a hothead, and he's always he's an Aries, and, I can appreciate that he don't take no shit. He's not afraid to just, rattle off some shit, he will stand his ground and say some shit, but, he's gone one step beyond now. I mean, it's beyond anything that would be even slightly acceptable. He was just, every other word was cunt, or fuck, and fuck, and cunt, and cunt, oh my god, I can't even do his accent, but, it was ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. He wasn't even addressing what he was talking about. He was just calling people cunts and cursing continuously. Which he wasn't always that bad on. He's off the hook now. And I can. Oh, and he's got the pure white fucking beard. Okay, I've got a little news flash for people. Despite what medical may try to say about aging, fucking heater, shut the fuck off. Fuck. You know, fucking shit makes that come on too. Despite what you might hear, you don't get white hair or wrinkles or dry skin or varicose veins from age. It's just not. It's not simply the passage of time makes your hair turn white. Oh yeah, I'm 40 now, so my hair has to all turn pure snow-driven white because the pigment cells stopped working. Let's use a little logic on that. Um, Doctors would say your pigment cells stop working as you get older, and then your hair turns white because of that. Eh. Um, Unless you're trying to claim that the actual color of human tissue is pure snow sheet of paper white, which it ought not be. You know, very few things in nature that are comprised of a lot of different types of tissues and stuff are pure white, unless it's a flower. Give me a fucking break. At first, I thought maybe it was toxin, but it's not. That's where the slime mold comes in. You know, you don't get pure snow white hair because your pigment cells stopped working. I'm sorry, that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. You would have to assume that lack of except for the pigment, your tissue is pure white. Your hair is pure white. Your skin is basically pure white or ashy if you're black. No, total bullshit. All of the signs of aging are the exact mirrors of metal toxins. And so, the slime mold that was growing that I saw in that Subanima video, it looked like slime that was translucent like a mucus that had form. It was like a mucus, a living mucus. And it was white. And it grew, its fruiting body was really thin tendrils. So it's not a stretch to think, oh, slime mold, we're infected with a slime mold that lives perfectly fine in the plasma under your skin, between your muscles and organs, and flourishes there, and your body doesn't seem to know it's there or can't stop it. That fungus creates a septic condition, which leads to, staph or MRSA or something. You get a cut or a scratch and it's instantly infected and it never heals because it can't, because your immune system can't do anything about it because you're inundated with this slime mold that Dr. So and so doesn't realize is there. Oh gosh, all the things at their disposal and they just can't seem to figure it out. Better race for a cure, everybody. Get out there and race for a cure, because billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and decades is not enough to figure out how we stop, cancer or Alzheimer's or any of these things. Oh, gee whiz. Gee, yeah. Oh, poor doctors are trying as hard as they can. Oh, they're working day and night, working their little fingers to the bone in the lab, staring into those microscopes all the time, trying to save people's lives is what they're doing. Pfft, give me a fucking break. Doctors are pieces of shit. I think they may be worse than pilots, to tell you the truth. Pilots will just go and do shit that's immoral and wrong and harmful, and then they'll think they're all fucking cool because of that. Whereas doctors are hands-on doing it and lying continuously because they got to interact with people. Pilots are off on their own. Doctors, on the other hand, interact with people and lie to them all day long with a smile on their face, which kind of has brought me around to this notion. There are a lot of narcissists in the world, and it's just getting worse with the aerosol spraying. The stuff in that seems to adversely affect people's minds. I mean, before it fucks up your lungs and your guts and your everything, before chemtrails ruin your everything, they mess up your mental processes first. They start affecting it, and I think it's what the big narcissism fucking epidemic is. I'm sure it's the slime mold combination toxin is the white hair epidemic. So where was I going with that? Um, oh, okay. So doctors, and this also, I originally thought of this with EMTs and and police. Now, there's parts of their jobs that are important. EMTs do help people sometimes, although a lot of the problems people have are caused by things that are undeclared and unknown. But I don't think the EMTs even know that a lot of times. People aren't very bright. They go to school, they memorize what they're supposed to memorize to get their paper, so the teacher's happy, and then they got it to go. Look at me, I got my degree, I got my thing, I can go get a job now. I'm well respected and smart because I learned stuff in school. Says every frickin' doctor who's a dumbass, and there are dumbass doctors galore. You don't have to know anything. You just have to memorize some shit. And never ever tell anybody about anything that you're not supposed to tell them about. And do tell them about the things you're supposed to tell them about. And just keep it that way. And you'll get paid. And you don't have to worry about nothing, Dr. So-and-so. That's my point there. Okay, so the EMTs. Well, if you got to pull, dead bodies out of cars and, mangled people and just all kinds of, bad shit that they do actually have to deal with, police, EMTs, and that sort of stuff. Well, I thought of this originally from a cop. If you were the type of person who would be drawn to being a cop and then stick with it, would have to have a mindset that a lot of people who get in trouble with the law are not really criminals. They're not particularly even, they're not dangerous. They're not, they don't really deserve to be in that situation, but our laws are such and things happen so that, they can get in trouble still. So, but, they're not, gun-toting gangsters out raping people, okay? They're normal people and they really don't need to end up in jail or prison or whatever with our bullshit laws. Now, if you're going to be a cop and you're going to stay being a cop, you got to be